The land where the old meets the new. Where the commodities of modern life go side by side with tradition and centennial monuments that remind us how much history is graved in these stones. Here, people from all around the world come together in a common space where languages and cultures collide and coexist, creating a complex scenario, a colorful mosaic of ideas and beliefs in which it seems that there is nothing more to say, nothing new to discover, no one to believe in. The second decade of the 21st century started in what looked like a better state than the human race has ever been in. We felt smart, safe, in control. Any distance wasn't too far anymore, any truth too undeniable. We were independent, we were strong, we were unstoppable. But then, it only took an unexpected turn, the size of a virus, to prove us wrong. Only the assurance that God is in control can overcome fear. And then, even when the whole world stops in despair, an opportunity emerges. Hope shines in the most unexpected ways. God is still calling. Who will go? Restrictions then paved a way for creativity. Radio, TV, and social media were almost the only means that now were still able to reach anywhere at any time. Technology became a closer ally, even for small audiences and untrained preachers. Social distancing turned into online proximity. Empty pews into viewers, likes, and shares. The church that once had only one address and restricted opening hours was now everywhere, anytime, all the time. But time went by, and with it, a longing for home started to grow. Home, meaning people. A simple hug, a little hand waving hi, a prayer, a song. For some, it was a longing for something that they already knew. But for others, even before any pandemic restrictions, it was a search for something they had been missing for long. How wonderful it is that the power of the word that upholds the universe is available to transform human lives. So sharp, so powerful. It contains the only knowledge that can truly make us free.
Числа прокинулась вся країна о 5 ранку, бо бомбили майже у всіх точках України.
Начали бомбить, было какой-то ажиотаж был, все люди не понимали, что взрывается, но потом уже как бы все догнали то, что началась война.
Ми зібрали речі, ось буквально документи взяли, якісь речі, 2 сумки і поїхали просто з міста подалі від.
Road was horrible, really. It was a long way, and really you feel dangerous near yourself, near your family.
Мы просто хотели оттуда уехать, там настоящая война идет. Там сколько людей в день погибает, это очень страшно.
In the inter-European division, we believe that no matter how big or unexpected a crisis could be, it will always come with a chance to reach the world. It is in the darkest times that a little light can shine brighter. Each one of us had a mission to fulfill. With the power of the Word of God and the transforming healing of His love, we have what is needed to go. No matter the challenge in front of us, we say, we will go. Not because we are in control, not even because we are ready, but because He promised, I am with you.
and welcome to ANN Late Nightish. I'm Kenya Reyes.
And I am Mwenya Mpundu. And as like we start every night, here are the top 5 news points of the day. Division presidents were elected today. Many of them remain the same, but we will give you the new ones elected. For NSD, we have Johan Kim. For SID, we have Harrington Akombwe. For SSD, we have Roger Kandaram. For TED, we have Daniel Duda. For WAD, we have Robert Osia Bonsu.
Also today, we had some of the associate directors who were elected, and many of them were also re-elected. But for education, we have Richard Sabuin. For Sabbath School and Personal Ministries, we have Justin Kim. And for Women's Ministries, we have Nilda Itin.
Because of concerns over lack of diversity in the nominations being presented by the committee for the different positions, general stats were given on the General Conference employees. 60 countries are represented in the GC. Every division is represented. Ethnicity breakdown by job category of executive, professional, and managerial. Asian, 9%. Black or African American, 16%. Latino or Hispanic, 17%. 2 or more races, 3%. White, 55%. Gender by job category of executive, professional, and managerial. Women, 38%. Men, 62%. Average age within job category of executive, professional, and managerial is 54. Elected only is 60.
Also today, we had some discussion over the new Adventist Youth Manual edits. And I know that we were very interested to see the conversation that would happen because of these edits. Now, the edits are meant to help in equipping youth and young adults to take leadership positions in the local churches, to clarify the original language regarding youth ministries in the manual, and change the ages for the different youth ministries. The edits received support from division youth directors such as Pastor Ron Henebago, Pastor Magulilo Mwakalonge, and the former GC youth director, Pastor Gary Blanchard, and Pastor Paco Mogwane, who gave some explanation as to the reason for the edits. Due to some confusion regarding the removal of the 30+ as the young adult age, the amendment was returned to the committee for review and clarification.
Finally, for our 5th point, we have to announce to you that the youth ministry team is finally complete. After the election of Pastor Busi Kumalo, as the new youth director, today, finally, we received the nominees for associate directors.
Yes.
How do you feel, Kenya?
We feel very, very happy. We're just happy because we have a whole team again,
yes,
right? After
we
had Pastor Gary Blanchard, his announcing that he would be leaving, well, we were left with a hole there that needed to be filled, and it was filled. And today, well, it was completed.
Yes. Nominated, voted, and elected were the incumbents, Pastor Paco Mogwane and Pastor Andres Peralta.
And those are the 5 points of the day. A lot of discussion over the edits. We had a lot of nominees come in, and we do believe that it's done for the nominee committee. Isn't that correct?
Yes, we believe the nominee committee has finished their job for this session and have nominated all the positions.
I bet they're happy.
Yes.
Because I know those meetings were long, and long meetings are not easy. And well, honestly, now what we can do, all of us, is to pray for all of the leaders, the new leaders, those who have been reelected, to continue being guided by the Holy Spirit, to continue moving their church forward, and that we may finish the work of the gospel here in earth. So we're very happy for everything that happened today. And now, aside from all of those exciting things that were happening in the Dome here at the Convention Center, you and I had a really good time.
Yes, we did something super special today, an exciting time.
Yes.
Our legs hurt.
They will hurt tomorrow.
Oof. It was a busy day. What did we do today, Kenya?
Well, we went for a little spin around St. Louis. And so we want you guys to take a look at our little St. Louis tour. So enjoy.
After 3 days of living in St. Louis, today we headed out on a mission. We're going to tour this beautiful city that the GC session is being held in. We rented some scooters, but what we didn't know was the city had now stopped scooters from being used in their city limits. Ain't that crazy?
As we made our way through the different paths, through the different streets on our scooters, after making it also through the heat, we were finally able to see the beautiful Gateway Arch. The Gateway Arch stands at 630 feet tall. It is our nation's tallest man-made monument and anchors Gateway Arch National Park, formerly known as Jefferson National Expansion Memorial. But after some scooting and after some walking, it was time for a little break. And why not do it on this beautiful patch of green grass?
A break or a hop? But that hop definitely got us tired again. So here we are, taking a little breather, looking at the sights of St. Louis.
After scooting around some more, we finally came to this courthouse, the old courthouse of Gateway Arch National Park. And it has very, very big significance for the city of St. Louis, Missouri.
It not only serves as a monument of St. Louis, but also has a big part in the civil rights movement of America.
The statue in front of the courthouse is of Dred and Harriet Scott, who filed suit for their freedom at the courthouse in 1846. After continuing to see the arch even from far, which you can see from every single corner of the city, we were making our way back to the convention center and we passed by the Federal Reserve Bank Plaza.
As you walk through St. Louis this week, you will see a lot of welcome posters to the church as the city celebrates us here.
Many other of our delegates, I am seen here scooting into the convention center because you know what? We're getting a little tired and it's pretty hot outside.
We'll make our way back in for a little bit of cold air and a stroll through the convention center.
Walk through the entire convention center to make our way into the dome. But we have learned a little bit more about America's Center, where the general session is currently being held. American Center is a convention center located in downtown St. Louis, Missouri, and is situated next to the dome at American Center, the former home of the National Football League's St. Louis Rams. The venue opened in 1977 as the Cervantes Convention Center.
At the Dome, you are able to see many communications teams who are set up to make sure their divisions know what's happening here at the General Conference sessions. As you walk into the Dome, you see delegates sitting, paying attention to what's being discussed on stage by Hensley Marovin, the Undersecretary of the General Conference.
Delegates are sat by divisions, and each of them works together prayerfully to make the decisions that will help us continue growing as a movement, as a church, all around the world.
I hope you enjoyed our short tour of this beautiful city of St. Louis, Missouri.
It was super fun.
Bye now.
Well, wasn't that fun, Monia?
Yes, what a fun time.
And to think that now those scooters are illegal in St. Louis, Missouri, and it's our fault. No, I'm just kidding. It's not our fault.
It's not our fault.
It's definitely not our fault. But we did have such a great time being able to scoot around the city a little bit and get to explore what's here in St. Louis, although it was very, very hot. But it definitely gave us some time off to be able to explore somewhere new.
And more steps. I think I'm almost at 20,000 today.
I have 20,000 as well.
Well,
right.
Joining us now is Pastor Ron Genebago, who is the youth director from the Southern Asian Pacific Division. How are you, Pastor Ron?
I'm great.
That's
Thank you.
good.
Pastor Ron, it's so finally good to meet you in person.
Yes, yes, I'm happy to see you all.
Yes, we're happy too.
And also joining him is Pastor Nick Cross, who is the youth liaison for the South Pacific Division. How are you, Pastor Nick?
I'm awesome. Thank you very much, Moenia. It's great to be here at the GT session. Very exciting.
Yes.
So you all might not know, but this is fun times for Kenya and myself because we're meeting Kenya met most of them before the pandemic. But for me, I'm meeting most of the youth directors now at session.
Yes.
So that has been fun meeting you both.
Yeah, this
Yes.
is my first time to see Nick.
It's my first time to meet both of you. So exciting because I'm really over Zoom, to be honest.
Yes.
I've seen so many Zoom meetings, but now real people in real rooms, it's so much nicer.
Yes, definitely. And I have my own little anecdote of the first time that I met Pastor Nick. And I remember that we still hadn't met formally, but it was at Oshkosh.
Hey.
And I remember that I was in my little golf cart, just driving around and feeling very privileged for having the golf cart, I must say.
I was walking.
And I remember that I passed Pastor Nick and I knew what he looked like already. And I remember that he was staying on the campsite.
Yes.
He was staying at Oshkosh in a tent. And I remember that I love that because I'm a big Pathfinder girl. I'm a master guide. And so for me, that was very, very special. And I hold that little memory pretty close to my heart, Pastor
Well,
Nick.
thank you, Kenya. But the big question is, did we trade any pins?
I don't think we did.
man.
I think we're going to have to bring out the pin collection because I'm sure you got me beat.
I missed out. on that. That would have been fun.
Definitely. Well, here at Session, there's so many business meetings happening, right? There's so many discussions that are happening. So we do want to ask you a little bit about that. For us as young people, maybe it's confusing. We're hearing a lot of new terminology on our end, and there's just so many things that they're discussing that maybe we've never heard about before. But one of the main questions that we have is that we spend so many hours discussing manual edits, church manual edits. So we want to know, how do these church manual edits affect the local church? So we're going to start with you, Pastor Ron.
Yeah, church manual has been a blessing in our church. But like us, we grow. We need also to grow in our in our knowledge. So we need to edit some points that we see need improvement. So like, for example, the proposal that we have there, the goal of the Adventist Youth Ministries is to bring the youth into activities. And I think that is not the goal of the Adventist Youth, but to bring the Adventist Youth in a saving relationship with Jesus.
Amen.
So that's that kind of edit will really help and make an impact to the life of the local church. For example, if our goal is to bring the young people into activities, so that's all. So that's and the end product are young people doing many activities. But if we bring them to Jesus, so that is foundational to everything.
It's not about events, it's about Jesus.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, quotes.
Tweet me.
Tweet Wenya. We have quotes now. That's really good. I love that because I love that you're talking about the church growing, and we have to grow and expand. And there's new knowledge that we acquire.
Yes.
I know that you've recently finished your doctorate. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So, you as a person continue to grow in your knowledge, and as a church, we do so as well. So, Pastor Nick, what would you say to this question? Why is it important to the local church member, to the local young person?
Yeah, so I mean, the church manual is meant to be a guide, and as Pastor Ron mentioned, our church is growing, and so the manual is a dynamic document. So as needs arise, better language can describe our situation. So, for example, there was a speech today about people who have, say, disabilities. So how do we cater for those people with disabilities? So they're looking now at recommending different changes for the church manual to facilitate blind and deaf people and other people who have wheelchairs and stuff. So, we recognize that when we say things, that's not going to be locked in forever. So the church manual is designed to give a local church a structure so that, say, for example, a new Pathfinder leader is elected into that job. They don't really know what they're supposed to do. So we go to the church manual to find out what role they play. How do they fit within the bigger sort of context of a local church? The manual.
Yes. That's true.
So it's handy, very handy.
Definitely, it is a handy book, especially for when you're coming into a new department. I think that you and I, we understand.
Yes.
Coming in new and not understanding how things happen and how things go and how we're supposed to be organized, it definitely does come in handy.
I remember being on the nominating committee in my local church, and there was always someone in there with the manual. Before you propose the new position, they'll read out the position, what is supposed to happen in the manual. And I think that happens maybe in other churches as well. But what happens when maybe they're looking through the manual and they see that this might not fit how they think the church should be moving and want to propose an edit. How do they move it from their local church to then be considered here at the GC for future?
Yeah, if like a young person